him going at Charlamagne, I mean, it's funny. I think it's funny, both sides of it. You know, he ended up being number one on Billboard anyway, but Drake is a sensitive guy.
Yeah.
And I think if he was really confident in what he was putting out, he wouldn't feel the need to respond to the fake Morris Chestnut on Instagram. You know what I mean? He wouldn't feel the need to even address this shit. But hey, I think he knows he's been putting out weak shit. Yeah, man, there's a lot of tension and beef and rap and talk. Speaking of like putting out a hot song, we talked about Drake's new record with SZA last week, and how I know you said you were expecting something a little bit more hard.
Yeah.
His album's called For the Dogs, and this was a little bit weak, mellow, right?
Yeah, it was some mid slime you out. Yeah. I don't even like the name of that song.
Yeah, and the just like his other record, Search and Rescue, most of the hype came behind the cover art, which I don't know. That's not really what I'm looking for from this album, but we'll see. It did go number one on Billboard, but before it went number one, Charlamagne, he had a similar take as you, man.
Yeah.
He said, Drake put out a song last Friday and nobody cared. He was like, the Drake and SZA record, he was just like saying the same thing you said, like he expects something a little bit harder. And he said, in his group chat, like people were talking about the lyrics like days later. He said, usually, people are talking about Drake in the lyrics of a new song like the same night. It doesn't take days for it to be discussed. Yeah. Drake, he did not like that, bro. He didn't like that at all. He went crazy on his Instagram stories, posting pictures of Charlamagne saying, in deep thought about how you the off-brand Morris Chestnut. He also posted a screenshot of a 2013 Vlad TV interview in which Charlamagne took aim at Drake saying, it's 3 sexual orientations out there. It's gay, straight, and Drake. Drake is just a whole different type of breed. So Drake, he actually wrote, Charlamagne by his real name. He said, are you okay, Leonard? He said, you kind of weirding me out, G. Like, you really obsessed with me or something for years. Like, you look in the mirror and you wish you saw my reflection type shit. He said, whatever you gotta do, let it out. I'm sure your 435 loyal fans will stand by. You fucking goof.
Oh, man. He's been listening to Joe Budden too much, calling people goofs.
I'm just glad Drake hasn't watched this show because we've said way worse things. I've said way worse things, but you said the same thing Charlamagne said.
I did. It's true. Listen, I unfortunately, the song sucked. Nobody talked about it until the following week because I think there was other music that people were paying attention to, or it just wasn't good, so nobody felt the need to talk about it. Do I think that the album is going to be better overall than this couple singles that he's dropped? Of course. Of course. There's no doubt about it. But
I have doubts. I'm not going to lie.
No, it'll be better than the 2 songs that came out. But I don't know. This is back to uninspired Drake.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this for a minute. He's been on tour. His tour's been great. He just brought Bow Wow out in Atlanta. He's still making headlines, no pun intended. But I don't know, man. The album, it's Libra season. It's supposed to come out next week on the 6th, man, Friday. You think it's coming?
I don't think it's coming out Friday. I will be very happy if it does because I'll be able to download it that night, get ready for my flight, and have that on the plane ride. But I don't think that album is really coming out. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. But yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. Like, honestly,
it's got to be so much work to work on an album while you're on tour. Like, being on tour itself is like a full-time job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's running around on stage for like 3 hours every night.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And then not only that, I mean, you got to get breaks. You got to travel. You got to eat. You got to take care of your crew that's with you. Like, there's a lot of things going on.
Bro's been collecting bras every night too. Like, he has a whole bra collection. He's doing extracurricular shit. Yeah.
Thousands. I wonder what he's going to do with those. Probably just burn them or something. But
I don't want to know what he's doing with those. But they used to burn bras back in the day in the feminist movement.
That's
so
right.
Maybe Drake is a feminist.
That's right. Shout out to all the women out there.
Man, I don't know. I hope the album comes out next week, but I wouldn't be surprised if he pushes it back again. Him going at Charlamagne, I mean, it's funny. I think it's funny, both sides of it. He ended up being number one on Billboard anyway, but Drake is a sensitive guy.
Yeah.
And I think if he was really confident in what he was putting out, he wouldn't feel the need to respond to the fake Morris Chestnut on Instagram. You know what I mean? He wouldn't feel the need to even address this shit. But, hey, I think he knows he's been putting out weak shit. And, hey, I thought that they pieced it up after the back-to-back shit where he, sent Charlamagne those bottles.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't even think Charlamagne said anything terrible. But Drake finds a way to get, people talking about him and his records. I think he's going to sell records no matter what. But this isn't a song that I feel like is going to stick.
No, definitely not. Nobody's going to care about this.
Yeah.
And what did you think about that bar calling him the off-brand Morris Chestnut?
I laughed. It was funny.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was okay. It was a little weak for me.
Damn. I mean, that's actually a compliment in a way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a bad thing.
In a way, but I mean, Charlamagne's like, he's well known in the industry, in the media spheres. I don't think, I don't really know that that's a diss.
It's not really a diss. That's what I'm saying. Like, but the rest of it was a diss, 100%. It sounded like he was hurt.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to For the Dogs, for real, I love the album cover. I'm excited for the title. The songs that have dropped have kind of limited my excitement, especially since I haven't really liked a Drake solo album. Well, I liked Honestly Nevermind, but that wasn't really a rap album. Her Loss was good last year. That's what gets me excited, and seeing him on tour a couple times this year, I was like kind of hyped up for it, But if this is going to be like Scorpion or Certified Lover Boy type shit, I'm just not into it, man. And I feel like Drake, he might be on the decline. I don't know, man.
What year was it when I said, if Drake does this for 10 more years, then he's going to be the greatest of all time? Was that like 2018, 2019?
That was 2020, man. That was right 2020? Before COVID, yeah.
Okay. Well, we're 3 years later right now. Concerned he may be on the decline. We'll see you by 2020, 2025.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens to artists. They kind of move, into a different space.
They've been doing this since 2010.
Yeah.
In fact, probably 2009.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's a great run. He's still on it. We're still talking about him. He still has a number one song on Billboard. I mean, that means something. He has the giant machine behind him, but he's still responding to radio DJs and beefing with white girl podcasters. So hey, Drake, it don't matter. He gonna shoot his shots at anybody. Anyone can get it from him. He don't care.
What's your favorite like Drake moment in time? Whether it's a good, bad, or indifferent sort of thing that happened with Drake in it.
My favorite Drake moment in time. I don't know, man. Honestly. That's a hard question. There's been a lot of shit. Do you have a moment?
There's so many. I think one of them has to be like that Madonna kiss. That's a hilarious moment in time.
That's disgusting, man.
Yeah,
He got sexually assaulted.
It's hilarious, though. It's like,
that was awful, man. That was disgusting, man. Bro, you know what's funny? Like when I said that when we were talking about Cher last week, I got an article afterwards that said Madonna's dating a 25-year-old black kid. Like, it's crazy.
Maybe you were right. These guys are going after their reparations in a different way.
I would not do it. I'm sorry. I'd rather be a slave than tongue kiss Madonna.
Listen, man, I was really upset that California did that whole study on reparations, and then they were like, yeah, but we don't think really giving y'all like $3 million each is going to solve the problem. We're going to find other solutions. I was like, you motherfuckers, just wasting our time. Wasting our tax dollars to tell us you're not going to pay us.
I mean, yeah, that's what we pay for, them to fuck us. But hey, it's America, man. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Spotify. Follow on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
All the apps. We're everywhere. We are everywhere.